Okay, so y'all, I was gonna give y'all an old nasty, big curly hair look, natural hair tease, moment. But I said, for what? I'm real. I'm real. Y'all real. I mean, hell, this hairdo with the curlers and all that. This hairdo is giving what this part 2 reunion gave. Halfway done. In the middle. Tired and through, exhausted. All the things I really am. So I was just like, well, let me come on here and just give actual, feelings and all that. What you call it? What do you call it? What does Shangela call it? Method actress. Yes. Give y'all that. Anyway, how y'all doing? Hope y'all doing alright, darlings. Okay. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta Part 2 Season 10 Reunion. Okay, let's just get straight into it. What did we talk about? This Part 2 reunion was definitely more in detail. I'll say it talked about the little small things of the season, which some would say is important, some would say were not as important. It just depends on the person. I feel like it's 50-50 for me. But the first thing they talked about was they got on Marlo chasing Portia, and Marlo, she was just like, oh, well, was the situation that serious? Did we really have to go back and forth like that? I was just simply trying to get a reaction. But when somebody's already under fire, Portia had just left the conversation with Sheree and Kim where they was trying to come for her. Now you're coming over here with your mess. And it's just like, does she really need all that at the time? And she already knew that you came over there for BS. And the fact that she didn't want to talk to you, you should have just let it go. But you couldn't. Because you're Marlo, and because, you're trying hard to get that peach, and because you're just simply belligerent, you followed behind her. And so, what you got was what you got, sis. And, Portia really didn't have much to say about it. She was just like, she just shouldn't have been following me and pressuring me and all that. Then they got on the whole situation with the fan. When Kenya waved the fan in Portia's face, obviously that was a disrespectful thing. And then she was just like, well, Marlo waved the fan in your face. So a fan wrote in. So how is this situation so different with all that? Me watching it, maybe like twice. Yes, Portia just so happened to be beside Marlo. And I'm not even taking up for Portia, because I'm pretty much unbiased when it comes to all these ladies for the most part. I like all of them for different reasons, but I'm pretty unbiased when it comes to, them. But yes, Marlo and Portia was sitting right beside each other. Portia was talking and she did like this to Marlo. Marlo was already hyped up. Marlo was already drunk. Marlo was already getting ready to pop off. So she just so happened to jack the fan out of her hand. Okay? And then it was getting ready to get ugly and all that. So I do feel like it's a different situation. It's the same situation in terms of the objects and in terms of, the setup. But it's different feelings. It's different situations. It's different issues. Now, mind you, by that time, speaking of the whole Kenya and Portia thing, when Kenya dragged Portia across the floor like a swivel sweeper, Kenya had put the fan in Portia's face several times by that moment. And then Portia was just finally over it. So Portia did like this to Marlo once, and Marlo jacked it. But Marlo's a different kind of hood rat child, so was tea. We all know what's going on with Miss Marlo Hampton. And so yeah, so that situation was just like, okay. So moving on from that, they got on Kenya. Any chance that Kenya gets to throw a little dig in there, that's what she does. Any chance when she get to speak, that's what she does. So Kenya brought up the, Marlo's past, and I believe a fan wrote in to tweeted these shady tweets. And it was just, and Kenya just kept saying out the side of her neck, she was just like, yeah, so what about the, you know, you slice somebody's face open and all that. Allegedly, apparently, Marlo did that back in the day. Marlo was just like, everybody has a past. I don't know why people keep bringing up my past. Because you're on TV, sis. They're going to continue to bring up your past. And then you have all these mugshots to prove your past of something. So, I mean, okay. And she was just like, you know, the reason I have so many, you know, cases or whatever, or charges, is because people kept calling me, and, you know, people was threatening me every time I stepped out. It was just like, oh, she's on the loose. You know, basically, I guess, like, saying she's a danger or whatever. Marlo didn't tell the complete story, but, I mean, who's shocked by that? Okay, what else they got on, child? So, Portia, she started to talk on the whole fact that they kept blaming this whole situation strictly on her, you know, with everything that happened between Candy and Phaedra. And she also said that, you know, no matter what I did, no matter what I said, y'all always brought the thing back to, oh, well, you did Candy this way. Oh, well, remember, yeah, you did Candy like that too. And, you know, they did keep doing that. But I guess the ladies and I guess everybody, in a sense, I didn't too much care either way. But I guess if I was Candy, and if I was Candy, I would be Candy and thinking like Candy and whatever. Obviously, I would still be upset by the comments. I just don't see the point in continue to like pressure a person and bully a person, in which she did multiple times, tried to come to Candy and talk about it. However, learning that they had just wrapped up the season, then they started filming for season 10. They just wrapped up season 9 and they started filming for season 10. So Candy did not have time to, like, you know, ease it and let it go and let it rest and come to Jesus, so to speak. So, you know, you do need, you know, time with that. But just watching it, it was just annoying. So Portia, she was just like, you know what, you know, Candy, I do apologize for my part in it. And she was just like, there's just no buts, whoop to whoop. Candy was just like, well, I mean, okay, that's cool. Candy, now you just all nonchalant and dry about it. That's why people don't want to say nothing to you, because you so dry and just like whatever about everything. So, you know, somebody actually gives you a heartfelt apology, you just sit there with that grin on your face and just be like, I mean, you was the one that was mad about it, but I've been over it. It was you. A mess. Okay, so hopefully the whole Portia versus Candy, yes, whole situation is over and dead. Hopefully, we'll see. Okay, they had a situation where Cynthia was flip-flopping back and forth. When Portia said that she came to her and talked to her, and, you know, Cynthia went back and told what she said, and we all know that's Cynthia, child. Okay, let's see. Oh, it was funny when Portia was getting ready to apologize to Candy. Kenya, being Kenya, she was just like, yeah, somebody get us a cocktail because it's gonna take so long. And then Nene was just like, girl, a cocktail, and she's supposed to be pregnant. I holler. I don't know if too many people caught that shade. I caught it. I don't know why Kenya just won't say she has a surrogate. Like, what is the big deal, sis? Just say that. You know, I don't. Whatever. We all know you about 55, and you having a baby naturally on your own is highly unlikely, sis. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, so just say that you got a surrogate, but we'll see. I guess things aren't like truly definite yet, so when they're definite, I guess we'll see, child. And still, there's no words on Kenya Moore being fired, so I think that whole thing was a rumor. But we still have part 3 to look forward to, child. So we'll see. But I don't think Kenya's fired, child, from the show. Kenya brings in ratings, and it's as simple as that. So what else is going on? They got on Nene, and the whole Nene and Greg thing. Nene said that Greg has been given pills for his heart issue, and you know, good luck to Gregory. I have people in my family with congestive heart failure, so 2 cousins actually. So yeah, it's rough, and like heart attacks and stuff run in my family, especially with men in my family. So I'm here for you, sis, and one day soon, hopefully, I'm gonna try my best to adopt a healthier lifestyle, so that I can lessen my chances of things like that happening, because like I said, it does run in my family, and that's very scary to think about. So they also got on Nene and the whole Uber joke, child. They asked, a fan wrote in and asked Candy, well, how can you support Nene, and you know, then the whole rape thing that you getting upset with Phaedra and Portia. And she was just like, well, I just feel like the 2 situations is different. Being a comedian, they say a lot of outlandish stuff, and this sort of pretty much what that was. I do understand business-wise why they dropped Nene from the group, from the tour, and also Tiny, Tamika, and Tasha, the rest of the members of Escape, they don't have any kind of emotional connection to Nene. They don't really know her like that. So I'm sure they didn't care. The person that has a emotional connection to Nene is Candy, because she works with her. And now they're friends now. We'll see how long that lasts. But it is good to see them get along. So it was nothing for them to be like, yeah, bye Moose, get on up out of here. So yeah, she said that the lady said for her to kill herself, and then that just came out. Nene already had an Uber joke planned. So Uber was already on her mind, and then the whole rape thing just came out. Then Sheree, and that curtain rod she's wearing, it looked like, I don't know what, it looked like a fancy tablecloth. It was really nice, like expensive tablecloth, hot pink too. But then she had a belt around it, so it kind of was giving me more the comeback vibes. I don't know. Sheree was doing a lot with the least, always. So anyway, she decided to throw her little 2 cents in. She was just like, yeah, well, being a member, a victim of domestic violence, I would have never said that. Bitch, you didn't say it. Nene said it. So yeah, never mind, Sheree. That was a fail. Try to get her little 2 cents in. Sit down. I was just like, Sheree, shut up. Okay, so Kenya, she made a comment to Marlo, a little side comment like she always do. Marlo was just like, you know what, but they was kind of going back and forth too. Marlo was giving it to her when Kenya wasn't bothering her, so you know, petty. So Marlo was just like, you know what, Cynthia, you know what, Kenya, it really does bother me that you keep calling me a whore and a prostitute. Like, that's damaging to me. Like, you know what I do. I have Simply Marlo LLC. And then Andy made a joke, and he was just like, yeah, you know, is that connected with Sheree's whole, you know, gig of, you know, being the Bone Collector LLC? They all started laughing and stuff. She was like, no, it's the actual thing. Like, you know what I do. Marlo broke it down. She was just like, I dated a billionaire. He bought me a Aston Martin. And, you know, he bought me a Bentley or whatever else. He bought my home, my mom a home, whoop to whoop. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I have money, and I guess she's invested or whatever. So I took the time out, because I was bored, to Google Simply Marlo LLC, and the first thing that came up was her Instagram. It took me straight to her Instagram. So I guess she's making money off Instagram. I don't know. But one beautiful thing that she is doing is she has this nonprofit organization called Glam It Up. And what it is that she's offering young girls who won't be able to really afford prom dresses to get prom dresses from her and get their hair and makeup done and all that. And I believe it's all for free. And she's paying her friend Rico Chappelle. Y'all know Rico Chappelle. Well, maybe y'all don't, but he used to be friends with Mariah Hulk from Married to Medicine, and he's been on the shows and stuff. He's a designer. He's worked with the Braxtons, etc. So yeah, he's very talented. But she's getting him to do the dresses and, you know, for their prom and all that. So I was like, that's very beautiful that Marlo's doing that. I don't think Marlo's a bad person. I think she's just a chicken head, and, you know, that's okay, I guess. For reality television, it's fine. So, you know, a part of me is just like, okay, Marlo, now you kind of got to do damage control. You doing all your antics and doing everything that you done on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now you have to kind of be like, okay, well, let me do something nice for everybody, you know. But maybe it's a legit thing that she does often. So, you know, whatever. I don't know. So yeah, that's what I saw was her Instagram page. So unless Instagram is paying Marlo, I still don't know what she do. Also, what was interesting in that conversation when she was saying what all the billionaire that she dated bought for her, she also mentioned her that he bought her mom a house. Now, I saw on her Instagram a picture of her mother. She's a pretty lady, and she also mentioned that she was in foster care. She grew up in foster care. So I don't know if her mom is her actual like biological mom or what. But then she goes on and on about how she grew up. You know, she has had an eye for fashion since she can remember, and she grew up watching her grandmother and mother, you know, being very fashionistas and stuff, and they kind of inspired her. So I don't know if she's talking about her biological mother and grandmother. I don't know the whole full Marlo story. And I would love to get to know more about Marlo and probably make people soften up to her a little bit more, even more. But, you know, she's going to come back on the Housewives and act a fool. I swear, I'm telling you now, if they ever give Marlo Hampton a peach, it's a wrap. She is going to claw her way to the front line. Holding the peach, child. It is going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess if they allow Marlo to get power. Look how she acts, just being a B character. Already, she's going to act a fool. They're going to have to shut the set down. And she's going to slice somebody up. Allegedly. I don't want to put that out there. I don't. Okay, so, what else is going on? So, they pushed Marlo in her loofah dress out to the back, and they brought Eva in. Eva is actually contracting as we speak. I believe in real life she had a baby boy. Congratulations, named Sterling, I believe. Congratulations, Eva. And, you know, she was contracting like every 10 minutes. Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine was on call. So, you know, I was just like, that's beautiful. It was just like, it might be a reunion baby. I was like, Lord. She had on either white or like a real pale pink, off pink color. I couldn't quite tell because my vision is not one of my best attributes, darling. My vision is tied and through and done. My vision, my hearing is gone. Shit just happening, child. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Anyway, the glass is high, the frame's high, and it's ridiculous. Everything is just about money in this world. But let me get back to the review. So Eva came out. They mentioned her man. You know, him doing, you know, coming on the show, being a mayor, and she really didn't say much about him. You know, he supports me and whoop to whoop. You know, she's in love and she's doing what she got to do to keep a check. And, you know, she's moving to Atlanta to keep this constant Real Housewives of Atlanta check. There's still no word on if they're going to make Eva a full-time housewife. But I guess, you know, we'll see. They're really not seeing it for Shamia. Eva kind of read Shamia. You know, she brought up the whole thing of Shamia saying that she possibly allegedly messed with Missy Elliott, and Eva just said that she was an advocate for the LGBTQ community and, you know, all this kind of stuff, and nobody should ever try to out anybody and whoop to whoop. Eva gives me the type to be like, I understand that and I respect that, being an LGBTQ member. But I don't believe her. I feel like as soon as she get mad, she'll pop off and say something like, you know, like all the folks do, child. I don't know why. Okay, they started talking about Will. I didn't really like the conversation with Andy in particular. The other ladies didn't bother me, but Andy saying that, you know, oh, Cynthia liked darker men, and, you know, they kept bringing up Wakanda and all that kind of stuff, and I was just like, I feel like the Atlanta ladies let Andy get away with certain stuff, and I feel like Andy, he asks more shady questions to the ladies of Atlanta than he do the other housewives, because I've seen all the other reunions, and for the most part, all the other franchise reunions, and for the most part, they're kind of dull and boring compared to the Housewives. The Housewives is more scandalous and racy and reckless, and you know, it's many factors to that. But I think it's also because of Andy and the questions that he asks. He's more shady with the black girls, it seemed like. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's just very like, that's not for you, sis. But okay, I mean, you're the boss. What am I gonna do? So yeah, Cynthia was just basically, you know, backpedaling and making excuses for that man, and saying that, oh, she don't quite understand why Eva said this, and I believe Will, and I don't believe that Will had a girlfriend while I was talking to Will. So they asked Cynthia when she had her party, she was like in June, and they asked Eva, it was like, Eva, when you saw Will with that woman, she was like in June. So in the words of Sheree Whitfield, Cynthia, what you gonna do? You caught up like Usher, you caught up. Got me feeling I caught up, losing control. This girl's got a hold on me. Yeah, let me think about it, babe. No, 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 no. Okay, so they got on Kim. Kim came out. Kim looked great. I'll give it to that. It's probably the only comment I'm going to give Kim throughout this whole entire remaining of this video and next episode, next reunion. But Kim looked good. She did. I liked her wig, everything. It was styled perfectly. I liked the hourglass dress. She looked great. But her lips are just ridiculous. It's like every time I see Kim, they're just getting bigger and bigger. Just plump and stuff. Plump and stuff. Plump and stuff. Plump and stuff. It's just ridiculous. Damn, Kim, like, stop. Ain't you tired? I'd be scared to kiss a child. All that pus and juice coming out of my face. Nope. Okay, so they somewhat ignored Kim as soon as she got out there. But, you know, they, you know, talking, you know, slightly shady, whatever. Everybody's rolling their eyes. Everybody's over Kim at this point. I wouldn't even be bothered. I wouldn't even came back if I was Kimberly, but whatever. Nene and Kim, they started to get into it. Nene was just like, you shady every time you get with Sheree. Excuse me. Sheree asked, Nene, do you have a problem with me? And Nene was just like, child, we ain't got no problem. Sheree's not gonna admit to anything, child. You know, this is why they say her peach is snatched. So then they started going back and forth. Kim was just doing a lot of deflecting. She was very, you know, dismissal and, you know, oh, I don't want to have an issue with Kenya, and, you know, all this and that. And Nene was just giving it to her. You know, Nene hopped up off the couch. Classic season 1 reunion of Atlanta Housewives. You know, Candy had to hold her back. Last time it was Lisa Wu that was trying to hold Nene back. And, you know, it was just a mess. Nene's just over it. Nene's just, you know, she's lashing out. And she has every right to. Kim was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't take a picture of your car. Kim, you did take a picture of your car. I think that a lot of these ladies or people in general on shows, they don't think there's cameras everywhere. People are watching them. Like all your little separate scenes that you're having with your friends and all that, we all can see that. Like y'all don't know that. Like y'all don't think all that's going to be brought up at the reunion. I believe she did say that she took a picture of Nene's car in the handicap section, and she made it such a big deal. When low-key people have been doing that shit for years. I'm not saying that it's right, but folks do it. I'm just going in there to get some real quick, y'all. I'm coming right back. But look, so it was just a mess. Sheree and Kim, when they get together, they're dangerous, and they out there on that employment line by themselves, and you know, God bless them to that. They'd be having this little after show on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, where they sit two of the ladies down, or one of the ladies down, and talk, you know, about the episode. It's like 4 minutes or so. I watch it on demand on TV. And I remember one episode where it was Kim and Sheree sitting down talking, and Kim said out of her mouth, well, thank God that Cynthia's beautiful, because, you know, otherwise I don't think she would have anything else to offer the world. Cynthia gave it to her. She was just like, why did you feel the need to say that? Like, you're very shady. Kim was just like, what? I was giving you a compliment. Kim, stop. Stop, child. You've been around black folks long enough, these black girls long enough. You are just as shady as they are, if not shadier. So, it's just crazy. Of course, Crow is there, you know, the bodyguard. I'm just like, Lord. It's just going to be a mess. They're going to push Lil' Kim to tears for the part 3 of the reunion. So, you know, we'll see. But I can't say that she don't deserve it, child. She's a mess. She is a mess. Plump and Stuh. Stuh and Plump. Yes. Okay, y'all. I believe I said everything that I wanted to say. It's just going to get real lit, child. And with that said, I'm Mr. Chalaka. Mr. Chalaka, Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld, Instagram, and Twitter. At ItsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat, and Chase King on Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.